Hi, Stitchers! Welcome to the Pattern Queens episode number 36. Today is Sunday, June 28th, almost the end of June. And I'm Laura.
And I'm Keisha.
And this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and rambles and lots of shenanigans.
And maybe some forgetfulness. Katie has threatened to put outtakes in.
Well, I think that would be funny.
You would see a lot of craziness going on.
Right. Maybe that's one of the maternity leave videos. It's just outtakes.
Oh my gosh. I don't know that some of that is airable, you know. It has been a good week for me.
Yeah.
I feel like I've made progress. I'm in a happy place because I've gotten to stitch what I want.
That's awesome.
So I'm sorry. I shouldn't rub that in.
That's okay. I am almost finished with the model, guys.
You are so awesome. So we wanted to welcome you to our channel.
Yes.
And we love all your comments and fun things. And Keisha, you wanted to talk about a couple, right?
Yes. Well, there were a lot of comments just saying that people are glad that I had a good baby shower and that they stitched as part of the pattern print SAL. So thank you everyone who stitched something, and thank you for all the well wishes and everything. We're only a couple weeks away from baby, guys. So that's pretty exciting. And then there was one comment that was asking what I'm using as a color substitute for Mint Frost from the Thread Gatherer as part of my Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. I'm doing a full DMC conversion, but in the list of called for colors, there is no conversion for Mint Frost. And what I've noticed is that it's mostly snow. So I've just been using white, just regular white.
So really it's probably white with just a hint of color.
Mm-hmm.
And is it Silken Colors or NPS? Is that what it's?
A Thread Gatherer is what it says.
Oh, okay.
So
go ahead.
And I looked at the places, like in the pictures of the pattern, at the places where it said it was used, and I couldn't really tell a whole lot of difference between it and the other white. Excuse me. Most of the white that's called for is 3865. So I've just been using plain old regular white. So it's just a little bit different.
Well, and part of that depends on what kind of fabric you're using.
Right.
Because your fabric, you're not showing it today, but your fabric is definitely light, yes. But your white has been showing fine on it. I was kind of concerned about that for you in the beginning.
Right. I was a little worried about that too. If you stitch Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow, there are parts of the pattern, and I wish I had it down here with me. This is the 1 week I didn't work on it. But there are parts of it that are supposed to be snow, like it's the ground, but white isn't stitched over it. So I picked a pretty light tan fabric for it. It's Zweigert's Platinum is what I'm using. And so it's a pretty light colored fabric, but the white still shows up. So if you do want to do Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow and you want to pick a darker fabric, that would be fine, but you'll probably end up stitching a little bit more white to give it more of a snowy look.
Yeah. I was going to say, Athena had commented that they were debating over what the hashtag was for the SAL.
Oh, right.
Originally, we just did hashtag pattern print SAL.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were people who posted with hashtag the pattern print SAL. So now we have two.
Works for me.
Just whatever you put in there to tag us. You know, we like seeing those pictures.
Yeah, I've really been enjoying seeing what everyone picked to work on.
And we know people were laughing about the idea. People who were in the know were laughing about the fact that that I had to sit here and be all serious while you talked about not having baby showers.
Right. If you missed last week's video, Laura and Katie threw me a surprise baby shower under the guise of taking me to the cross stitch store. And there were a lot of our friends who joined us through a Zoom call. And so, yeah, everyone who knew, there were a bunch of people who commented, it was like, haha, we knew, and we had to watch Laura be all serious when you didn't think you were having a baby shower.
It was funny. So
it was great.
Okay, so let's get into this.
All right.
Stash. You want to start?
Yes. So since I was promised a trip to the cross-stitch store and instead had a baby shower, this weekend I got to go to the cross-stitch store. And Laura and Katie were like, we promise there are no parties. So
I think he was a little disappointed. So, you know.
I mean, I always like a good party. So we went to a couple different places, and mostly I got a bunch of floss. So I got floss, and I'll show here in a minute, but Lindy Stitches is doing a stitch along over the next 3 weeks. And so these are all of the colors for that.
Oh my gosh, I saw somebody chose for the girls' dress a really beautiful like blue teal.
Oh, really?
And it against the brown skin is just so gorgeous. Right. I was kind of flipping through the group looking at all the pictures.
And this is the first part of it. I haven't stitched it yet. So I'm pretty excited. That's what I plan on working on once I get the model done. And then I also bought this piece of fabric for it. It just calls for a light piece of fabric. So this is just a piece of 14 count Aida that I found on sale at CC's. So I'm excited for that because I've been working on a lot of very small linen. So I'm looking forward to some bigger stitches. And then I bought a bunch of just blue floss. This is all for the mini Hade that I'm working on. And then at CC's, they had a basket of remnants that was like $1.50 for everything in this basket. So I bought this, and I don't know that's going to show up.
Yes, we're getting all the sparkle.
Okay, yeah, it's very sparkly. And it's a piece of 28 count linen. So I'm excited to see what I want to put on that, because who knows?
Maybe one of those cute little things I showed you earlier.
Maybe so. And then it's just like this kind of grayish blue. And I'm not sure the count on it. It looks like it's either 28 or 32.
Did she write on that one? Because she had written on your other one. Okay.
Yeah, this one doesn't have any writing on it. So, but either way, I'm going to be able to fit a pretty good size thing on that.
Yes.
And then, okay, so I bought a thing of floss at Quilter Station, which is another... it's a quilt shop, but they have a lot of cross-stitch things. And you could only use your debit card if you spent $10. Well, I only needed one thing of floss whenever I was in there because I got my specialty floss there. So I was like, well, I have to buy something else if I'm going to use my debit card. So look at this. This is from Stacy Nash Primitives, and it's scarlet.
That is hysterical.
And you turn it into this scissor pocket.
Oh.
And I don't sew. So I'm going to have to either learn how to do it or find someone who will do it for me. But this dog in a dress cracked me up.
Hey, Sue Wild, if you're watching, can you make the dog?
But it might be a while before I get to stitching that. So, but I saw it and I was like, I can't pass this up.
Because it made you laugh, right?
Right.
So
those are all of my purchases.
Okay. So yeah, I have a few more than that. Can't imagine why. Let me pull things out of this bag. Oh, that's for something later. I found out that I actually managed to buy the same floss twice while we were out.
Well,
yeah. I know, and I don't think I got all that many, but I bought the same one twice. I did get the other two spools that I needed because these patterns that I have called for two of two colors. So the one that we also got this chart from Summer House Stitchworks.
Right.
And this is Liberty Hill Farm. So here's the funny thing. Oh, and you can see on the back, it's all laid out, Liberty Hill Farm.
Mm-hmm.
So what's funny is that this is the one that I had thought that it was.
Right.
Just a little different. But, and it's actually the companion piece for this one, Memorial Day, that I've shown you previously. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So those go together, and I will be working on those. Oh, Katie's telling me I have to give this one to her because maybe she's going to stitch something patriotic in her year of Halloween. Remember that? Year of Halloween.
Well, they have Halloween in the United States, so it works, Laura. It works.
Oh, okay. I love that you're helping her there. The one that I bought twice, it's really kind of funny. It's Crystal Lake. And I don't know if you're going to be able to get this, but they are two different colors.
Yeah, one is much lighter than the other, or at least like more greeny.
I may play with that and, just play around and have a good time and see what I come up with.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like I just got some random flosses that I needed for different things. They were out of a lot of them. Of course. I mean, by now, of course they are, and that's fine. I'll figure it out or I'll hold off. But I got a nice assortment of different flosses for projects that I had. Right next to the $1.50 basket were just some long remnants. Now mine is 28 count. I don't know if you can catch this color. It is gorgeous.
No, it's looking kind of washed out. What color?
Yeah, it's kind of a nice blue with some greeny gray spots, and I don't even think holding something behind it would really help. Katie, hand me that big pattern again for a minute. Yeah, you're just not going to get it. Did that help a little?
A little bit. You can, well, now that you say that it's blue, I can kind of tell that it's a little bit blue, but it's still a little washed out.
It's very soft and hard to see. So definitely, just kind of a harder one. And I know I pulled this other one. I may have to wait until I get to the other bag. But I also got Fall Frolic from the Scarlet House.
Oh, cute.
How fun is that?
That's so fun.
I love that. So, yeah, had to have it. And, because I haven't bought enough in the last several weeks. So, then I have another big bag. Now, in it, really, I'm going to show you some pretty fabric stuff. But I saw somebody stitching this and just cracked up.
Oh.
Is If Cats Could Talk from Designs by Lisa. And I bought some floss that will match. Let me make all the noise first. Uh-oh. I bought some floss that will match my kitty, my Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
And so my cat will be done. I dropped something. My cat will be done in these three colors because she's kind of this light color up under her chin, and then it goes more into this, and then Katie kept saying brown instead of black, but I got charcoal, which is kind of a brown gray. And I laid these against her, and yes, they look just like her. So that was good. Oh, I see what I dropped. I don't know if I can pick that up. I am in a tight little spot here, you guys. I don't know if you realize that every week, but Katie's made a little nook in the corner in her room so that she could have more bookcases up. And I am in just a tight little corner of them. So we were at the fabric shop, and I decided that I just really need to make myself some bags. I'm gonna play and try and see what happens. And we didn't spend all that much. But I got these fun zippers to go in them.
Ooh, those are fun.
Aren't they pretty? So I have lots of fun colors. And then I got these two. I love this sunflower print.
Oh.
And I'm going to work it out. This is going to be the main color and this will go inside, but I'm hoping that maybe like I could put some sunflowers towards the bottom of the bag too, just some to the outside. And then I like the sunflowers so much that I'm going to do this brown as the main color with this orange, which is different than the other one.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I just loved that. And then there was this fabric that we had in our book sleeve shop in the Love You More Studio shop. And I love this, and I didn't get one. So we bought me some. There, I think you'll be able to see it now. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that pretty?
I love those bees.
And I'm probably making a couple of bags because these are the coordinating fabrics that go with them.
Oh, okay.
So it's part of the same line, so they will go perfectly with this. So I will play with how to pretty up my bags and do that. That will be a thing coming up for me.
Nice.
I'm excited.
That's exciting.
So I need to do some measuring and figuring. Oh, if you hear other crinkling and stuff, that's Katie. She's over here stash diving, and actually she just knocked over a bag. So, and then I had previously gotten summer ABCs from Little House Needleworks. Are you getting that? That one's real cute. Yeah. And after I did Turtles All the Way Down last year, I decided that I wanted to use more of that banding to do it. So this is a blue. I think it's getting washed out from the window, but this is a blue. And what I like is that there's not really anything going on these borders, on the edges. It's just a nice soft finished edge. So that is what I will be stitching this on. And then when I finish that, I'm going to play with what color I want to do the other seasons on, but I'm going to do them all on this banding because it's done.
Yeah, awesome. I can't wait to see those.
So that will be fun. And that is it for my stash. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, remember yesterday, Keisha? You know what's coming.
I do know what's coming.
Okay, so our friend Athena, who is part of Stitching with Friends, went on their video this week and she showed this stuff that she found at Michael's. And I'm like, I gotta go to Michael's. So I did. And I got this pack it's a trim bundle. And there are 50 pieces in here.
Wow.
And they were like $9.99 for these things. But I mean, it's everything. It's like there's some of this fun fringe. There are some pom-poms. I mean, just everything under the sun. This obviously is more of a Christmassy type bundle, but that one would be really cute and beachy.
Right.
And then I also got this brown bundle, which would be great for my prims and things. Oh, and this one had like some stuff that is more lacy. And look at this big one. That is really cool. It's this side because it's like velvety.
Oh, fun.
Really, really cool. And, fun little trimmed things. That's going to be really fun. Some velvet ribbons that'll be pretty to decorate. And then, that wasn't enough, so I had to get one more. And this one, I think, will just go with a lot of the fun little things that I've done. It had this is like a braided chenille. Kind of fun. This with the little flowers. Oh, I'm getting the wrong way. This with the little flowers. Some purple trims. This is just all soft pastel-y trims, but
Mhm.
cute stuff.
Right.
So that's it for me now. Seriously.
And they had all sorts of different colors and
Oh,
trims, and some that were like bigger ribbons and things like that. So if you have a Michael's nearby and you're looking for some things to do some nice finishing, you may go check that out.
and we should say if what you need to do is go to the ribbon section.
Mm-hmm.
They have all sorts of spools of ribbon. If you find that section at the stores here in the Kansas City area, it was on an end cap. So, go check that out at yours. Maybe tell them what you're looking for and see if they have it as well. Although, if you are in Blue Springs, you're not going to find it because as soon as Athena showed it, then Laura went and bought the rest of the stuff that she could find. So,
I mean, it's a good deal for that much finishing stuff.
it is. It is. And I will say, like some of the things in here are just going to be itty bitty tiny ribbons. Some of it is that. But
Right.
even that you can use to finish up. Oh gosh, look at that. Is that the prettiest? So, okay. Sorry.
We could just look at those all day.
Yeah, we'll just pull them all out.
Right. Okay, so the next thing for me is I told you last week that I got some stitched pieces at the baby shower, and so I'm going to show those to you. Now, a little disclaimer, I do not know the names of the patterns of these, so I'm sorry if I can't really help you if you see it and you're like, I love that, but I know who stitched them, so I can ask them if
Yes, we can figure that out.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start with, I got a nice framed piece from my friend Vicky. Hi, Vicky. And
It's so pretty.
yeah, I'm sorry about the glary, guys.
Oh, there, that's pretty good.
Okay, so let me get in there. There's a lot of specialty stitches.
And look at those sheep because they're like satin stitched, but like in and out, not like all one long piece.
Right.
And Vicky is quite the prolific stitcher and does lots of specialty stitches.
Yes. So this is it's just beautiful. There's so many, like, look at those blue flowers.
Yes.
It's so pretty. It's so pretty, and I'm really excited to put that up. So that was one of them. And then this is a little pillow from our friend Athena, who we were just talking about.
Man, is it adorable.
Oh, it's so cute. And this is one of the sheep virtues. I do recognize this one.
Yes.
And
that's from Little House, is that right?
I think so. And look at this cute fabric that she put on the back of it. How cute is that? So she sewed for me.
Yes, and she put trim on.
Yes. Oh, it's just adorable. And we're doing like blues and like this sort of color palette for the nursery, so it's very nice.
I think that her trim for that one came from Lady Dot because she had bought some Lady Dot Creates pieces to be able to do some finishing.
And then this one is from our friend Julie.
No, so cute.
Isn't that cute? Look at the little sheep and the little swirly flowers. And it's got a little bow here on top, and it's just a really nice polka dot on the back.
So fun.
Oh, I love this. I love the little butterfly up here in the corner with the little backstitch trail behind it.
Yes.
It's just such a pretty thing. And then from our friend Chris Ann, who said that she didn't want to give it away.
She never stitches a thing that she wants to give away. So
look at this cute little ornament. How crazy is that sheep?
That is fabulous. I think maybe that's Amy Brooken.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because that looks like her.
Mm-hmm. It is so cute. It's got this little button on the top. And a little
sparkly fabric, sparkly trim.
And then it's got this just cute polka dots on the back.
That's adorable.
So I love that. And then this is from my sister-in-law. So little boy's aunt. So we're naming the baby James after my grandpa.
Woohoo!
This is a hooded towel. I'm not going to unfold it. You know what a towel looks like, but we're doing sheep, so she found a little Shaun the sheep and then did his name in green because that's my favorite color. But it's also her favorite color, so, you know.
And it looks so pretty on that towel.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think it's like the first personalized thing that we have for the baby too, like with his name on it. So
really sweet.
But those are the stitch pieces, and then also you're getting one that you've shown on our Flosstube, finished into a for me, that the You Be Well that you stitched on that huge Tula.
And I planned from the very beginning that it would be yours. So it really cracked me up when you said, oh, I'll stitch that too. And I'm like, ah. And then you decided you would do yours over one. And I thought, okay, that'll be
yeah, because that's not, I mean, you can barely see it. It's too small.
Yeah. So now mom can have one and the baby can have one.
Right. The baby will get the big one and I'll have the very small one. And then our friend Connie over at Count Twice Stitch Once. I don't have a picture of it.
You know what? If you talk about it, I'll look up the picture for you, okay?
Connie stitched this piece. It's this crazy sheep that has swirls in it, and I love him. And she stitched it over one. And, I mean, it just looked like a whole lot of work. And so she stitched that for me, too. So
I'm just turning my brightness down. Sorry.
Okay. That's all right. But, oh, man, guys, you're going to have to look at this. It is the craziest sheep, and I love him.
It is. Oh. It is so fabulous.
Look at how cute that sheep is.
And I'm going to get real, real close. Look at the color in those swirls.
Yeah. It's just the best.
And she did a lot of over one stitching in this. It's so cute.
It's so cute. And those little birds on top of him and the flowers. And it's just amazing. And then I know that there's another stitched piece that's in progress that is being stitched by my dear friend Katie Landis. And it's a Stitchrovia piece for the baby.
Right. She's trying to think what the name of it. I think it's just called like Welcome Little One, or
it might be
Welcome to the World, Little One.
Okay, let me put in Welcome to the I put in Welcome to the.
And Emma Congdon is one of my very favorite designers, so I'm really excited because that would have been one that I might have stitched myself for the baby. So it's nice that I don't have to stitch it myself. But it's stitched.
Well, and Katie had wanted to. I mean, Katie knows that I like Stitchrovia. She found it. She's quick. She knows that you really like it, and it's one that I've talked about.
Yeah.
And so she thought it would be fun. She found a really pretty piece of sparkly fabric in the stash, and
it's on even weave, and Katie doesn't do even weave.
No,
especially sparkly even weave. So
you are special.
Yes. So I'm excited about that. So thank you everyone who stitched something. Like everyone. Well, I mean, I assume that most people who are watching this is a stitcher, and so the hard work that it takes to put even to do a small, and then to finish the thing, and and to give it away. You put so much of yourself into those sorts of things. So those stitched pieces are really special to me. So
yeah. And that's why I giggled about Chris Ann, because I am the lucky owner of one of Chris Ann's small pieces that she also had a hard time giving away. Mm-hmm. And she says that like every time. And I know, I mean, the other thing that makes me giggle about her especially is that I know that she has stitched like multiple items for giveaways, because she finishes one and she's like, no, can't give that away. She stitches another one. No, can't give that away. And she just does such cool things.
Yes.
And yeah, it's just fun.
Right. So yeah, I love those pieces. I hope you all like them too.
Okay, so next up are our whips. Do you want to show?
Sure, I'll show my whips first. I only worked on 2 things this week, and I did not work on Hawk Run Hollow, Christmas at Hawk Run Hollow. It's the first week that I have completely skipped Hawk Run Hollow this year.
That's a hard thing too, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's all right. I was working on a model. It's fine. I'm almost done with the model. So the first thing I worked on was a cheeky escape, which is my mini Hade. And oh boy, you're going to be really excited about this piece. I'm up in the corner. It's just sky. I've just stitched a whole bunch of blue.
Woohoo!
But it's different colors of blue, so.
And it calls for a ton of floss, but you've decided to just buy what you need, right?
Right. So basically, I mean, kitting up a Hade
currently.
Yeah, kitting up a Hade can be a big thing, especially this one has 89 colors, so that's quite the financial commitment, especially when it's going to take me several months to get to all of the greens at the bottom, because I'm going to work top to bottom. So basically what I've done is I've kind of figured out, I stitched them diagonally by like the 100 blocks, so you can kind of tell how that's going there. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like, okay, well, probably in the next few weeks I'll stitch, this many. So I'm just going to buy all the floss that I need for this section.
And what are you stitching on?
I'm stitching on 25 count linen.
And you're doing 1/1?
1/1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and this was, we have at CC's, they have a spot that's like, this is the end of the bolt. This is discontinued. And so I bought one of those pieces of fabric, and it's really nice. So.
Yeah, you can get a good discount on those things. I think it's fabulous.
Right. And I mean, with the Hade, I'm going to cover it all up anyway, so it doesn't even really matter. This is kind of yellowy, but it didn't really matter what the color is because it's a full coverage thing. So. And then you'll have to excuse the hoop because as soon as we're done filming this video, I'm going to get back to work on this model and it's going to be finished today. So we showed you last week the models that we've been working on, and they're for the Frogwarts Retreat. And this is designed by the Black Needle Society. So Katie Landis, the disembodied voice behind our computer. And so this is where I am right now. Like I said, I have it in the hoop. But this
so good.
Thank you. So this week, and the hoop is kind of covering it, I finished this mirror, which doesn't look like a whole lot, but it is completely filled in. And I mean, that's thousands of stitches.
And oh my gosh, did we get the sparkle on that? Because you're using the étoile.
Yeah.
And we get it on the key when you're doing that too. That's great.
And then it's over on the snitch as well, but that's pretty close to the.
Oh yeah, I see that.
But I've done, so I finished the mirror, and then I did this entire, there is a diamond border that goes the entire length of this thing, which is a couple thousand stitches. Like I've done almost 6,000 stitches on this week, so.
That's well over half.
Right. So, because, you're up in here, and I had gotten all of these motifs done, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm almost done, but this border is a killer. So, and now I'm working on the lettering down here, and it's over 1 on 36 count.
And bless your heart.
So I had to, and I've stitched over 1 before, but the smallest I'd ever stitched over 1 on was 32 count. And even then the stitches are pretty tight. So, and I'd never worked on this fabric before. And it's really nice to work on, but the weave is a little bit loose, which means your stitches slip. And so I had to kind of work at it to figure out how best to stitch it so that the stitches didn't slip under, and so that it would look good and so that it wouldn't look completely bulky. Because if you look at the letters versus the diamond border, I also did 1/2 up here, and I did 1/1 down here. So you can tell that it's a lot darker. I mean, it's not the same color, but that the coverage is a little more full. And I didn't want the stitches to look too puffy. So I had to work at it quite a bit to get it to.
So Maureen Appleton of the Heart's Content stitches almost exclusively over 1/1. And I took a class from her several years ago, and her best advice was to make it the longest trip possible. And
Right.
she says stitch a row, which, okay, Keisha's using DMC, so she can stitch a row. Even when I did it with the overdyed floss, I stitched a row because you're not traveling that far and you're
Right.
not going to see color change in that 1/1. But, like, so you just want to make, I stitch very different over 1 than I do over 2 because I'm
Right.
trying to make long on the back.
Well, and you can see I did by rows by the letter. So this
Yeah,
is the back of my piece. You can see how like I'm pretty neat everywhere else. And this is just I carried my stitches, which it doesn't matter because like 5 stitches over 1 is like carrying over 2 stitches. It's
yeah,
not that bad. But that's the only way I could get them to like be stable.
right. And you do have to do that. And the other thing is to make sure that you have a nice loose tension. Maureen said that when you finish a thread, you should be able to easily slide your needle through to finish it off. And you should have to go over and turn your needle and come back to go under the threads again. So, those tips have stayed with me because those classes were years ago, but it does help. And I mean, I do play again when I do over 1 again, but
Yeah, and I've just because I haven't been stitching over 1 for that long. I mean, except for on Ada where it doesn't really matter because you don't really slip on Ada. But
right.
I looked things up on the internet. Like I just looked up over 1 stitching, and there are different Flosstube videos that kind of show you how to do that. But I do better with a diagram. Like I like to sit and look at a diagram, and I found an article, and I can't remember what the website was, but it was one of the first ones that had a diagram of here's how you take the longest route, and here's how you do it if you're just doing like a row at a time where you do 1 stitch and then come back and cross them all. Here's how if you're doing 1 stitch at a time to make
Right.
sure that it lays, because I have done a little bit of stitching with overdyed flosses over 1 where I was doing it for a long time, so I did want to see color change, so I would have seen the color changes.
Right.
So definitely, I mean, there are resources out there. So
and the other tip I think is that you cannot, I'm a sewer. I use the sewing method most of the time. You cannot do that when you're doing over 1. That will absolutely make your stitches slide. So you have to be a poke and stab.
Right. And you need to be patient because sometimes, like right now, my stitches are really tight. And so you just have to have good light, have magnification if you need it, and just go for it.
Okay, Katie's going to make a big noise. There it was. She was sitting here waiting to toss something. She's up here doing a stash sort. So she's funny. Okay, those were your 2 whips, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just have 3. My first one is Jardin Prive, and it's the flower sampler. The sampler à bouquet. And I have it in my Happy Judy bag. I love this one. Look at the button she chose for me. I love this. And then the inside is fabulous too. So I never would have picked me to be a big yellow person, but after Brendan came along, that was it. Okay, so last week, or the last time that you saw this, I had like maybe this much done, like not much. So now I finished all of that.
Wow.
And I got my bottom border laid out all the way across.
Wow, you really made some good progress.
I was really aiming for a page finish, but then I thought if I would just go all the way across here with that pink, then I could cut my fabric off. So, that's what I did. And let me tell you, I color converted this, and at some point I will put it up for you guys. I am loving how my colors are coming out.
Yeah.
And this again is the very sweet Sunny Lara
Oh,
from Doug and Vicky at Acctgforstitches. Doug dyed it, and Vicky decided which color I was getting. They evidently did multiples. But I wanted to show you this. They were so generous that after I cut my piece with all of the borders that I needed, I still have a piece this big.
wow.
And I think that's the small piece. I have another piece this big.
Wow.
So I have lots of beautiful, beautiful fabric, and it's 36 count that I am going to be able to use for some projects that need, I mean, this is yellowish, but it would be beautiful with samplers. I think it doesn't read as yellow all the time, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's why it's in this bag, because the Sunny Lara is in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my first one, and that was the one that I had spun a few weeks back, and then I worked on the model and didn't do any work on these. So I have to put this away now until I get through my wheel for these. So I'm a little sad about that, but you know, it was such a great week working on whips that I had such a good time.
Yeah.
Then this is my beautiful bag, and look at that button.
Nice.
That I am using for my Hakra and Hollow with that fun inside. Judy does a great job. She has a Facebook group, Judy's Project Bags and More, and you just ask to be added to the group. But this is my Hakra and Hollow, a year at Hakra and Hollow. And I'm supposed to be working on June right here. But this week I was like, if I keep going like this, I'm only going to have 2 blocks done out of 6, which that's all I'm going to have at the end of June because I'm not getting anywhere. But I really didn't get diddly done on this one, February, when we did it before. So this week I decided that's what I was doing. I wanted to, and that's what I did. I had this bottom border, where am I? This bottom blue border, the water and the fish, and I had done one side of the gray outline of the heart. So this week I put the other side, the other gray outline, and and I had part of the white outline. So I filled that in with the purple and got the whole outline of the heart done.
Wow.
It was a lot of stitches, and I figured I did over 800 stitches on this.
Wow.
And the inside of that heart is going to be over 1,500 stitches.
Man.
So Keisha, what did we think we were going to do? And then I still have, like the trees and the fire and the people and...
Hey everyone, if you think you're going to get a Hakra and Hollow done stitching on it one day a week, you might not.
And one day a week when you have a job. I mean,
right.
Obviously I have more time now because it's summer and I'm not at school, but that was craziness on our part.
Right. So it's just not realistic, just so everyone knows.
Yeah. I mean, it's been kind of a fun experiment. And then we've said, we can go back and work on the previous months any other time. But do we do that?
No, because Thursday is Hakra and Hollow Day.
Yeah. So we don't think about it during the other days. Okay, then the other one that I had spun, now this is one of my 10 and 20. Oh, and Hakra and Hollow is one of my 10 and 20. I don't think it's being finished this year. This is Blackberry House from Plum Street Samplers.
I love this one.
I'm debating whether I'm doing that border at the top because I'm not buying the frame that she has. Right. I'll have to see when I get there. But I also read this week that she had given floss requirements for doing this 1/2 on 40 count, and I'm doing this 2/2 on 32 count.
Oh.
So I did go back and buy some more of the gray and a few other colors. When you saw this before, all I had was this border down here, or this block down here, and I still had to fill in a few of the berries. And so this was the Jardin Prive was Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and then this one was Wednesday, Hawk Run Hollow Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So 3 days on each. And this is where I am.
Wow, you built your little house.
I did. Look at that house. And I started on my vase. Okay, so my little house, I wanted to talk a little bit about that just because, I'll get him up there. I stitched the door up and down. You don't fill in there. My fabric is just light enough, thank goodness, and you don't stitch the doorknob. And then on this roof, I stitched up every time.
Oh, wow.
So I did it just to get that effect. And I like how it looks, and I think you can actually see at night when I'm stitching, these colors are almost identical. And when she designed this in 2015, amethyst looked more like this.
Oh, okay.
Mine has way more tan, and the skeins, when you look at them, yep, this is the amethyst. They have a ton of the lighter stuff in there that's more neutral colored. So it's still fine. I'm happy with it. That's fine. But my point with all this was just plan your path, figure out what you're going to do. Instead of having my roof striped horizontally the same way that my house is, and my house looks like blocks of color because of how crazy the floss is. Think about doing up and down. Think about doing, I think I said this last week with the beans. Think about doing vertical. This was another Judy bag. And look at that button.
Oh, the button's so good.
Judy knows I have a thing for buttons, and we've known each other for a long time, so she tends to choose things that she thinks will fit me. So those are my whips for the week.
Nice. You had some really good progress.
I felt so good, and I think it was the little euphoria that you get when you finally finish the model. But we had all May that was mania, so I didn't work on any of my whips, and then I had planned to do Whip Mania or Whiptastic June. That's what I call it. And then I didn't get to because I had to finish the model. And so when I was finally free, I was like, I'm stitching my stuff. So.
Very nice.
Anyway, do you want to talk plans?
Sure. So today, I'm not going to sleep until I finish the model that I'm working on. I don't have a whole lot left to do, guys. I'm almost done with the quote on the bottom. I have a couple of eyelets to do, and then I have the jelly beans to stitch. And it's probably going to take, that's probably what I'll work on today. But
and all of you stitchers out there, we released the pattern. Katie released the pattern in the Frogwarts group so that they could get started. And she also redesigned the Birdie Bots jelly beans for Keisha for the DMC version. And I think it's going to be really cute. So
right.
If you're stitching this, you might want to hold off and wait for that version.
Yes. So I'm going to finish the model. And then I would like to go ahead and start the stitch along from Lindy Stitches. And all you have to do, it's a free stitch along. You just have to sign up for her newsletter on her website. And parts of that are supposed to come out every Friday. And it looks like it's supposed to be a pretty small pattern. I can pull up the dimensions real quick, because that first part didn't look like it was going to be a whole lot. let's see if I can find it. Okay, the dimensions, it's 112 by 49. So it's a small one. So I'm hoping that I can catch up and do what was released last Friday, and then hopefully whenever next Friday rolls around, stitch that piece, that part of it too.
It's coming out in 3 parts, right? So
yeah,
it's not going to take real long.
No. So I'm going to work on that, and then I'll probably work some more on the my mini Hade that I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And then
hey, can I interrupt you a second?
Yeah.
What hashtag is that using, Lindy's?
Oh, let's see.
I mean, you can definitely tag it kindness Sal, but I think she did it for
let
me make sure we get it right.
Let me look real quick. I gotta pull back up the trying to find it.
That's okay. It's for one of the inclusion Sals. I know that.
Yeah.
And I'll say the name wrong and I don't want to.
Right. I will go and I'll finish telling you my plans, and then you can talk about it and I'll look it up while you're talking. So, so that's basically my plans. I also have another model that I'm working on that I need to finish up, and that one is for Michelle. So I would like to get that pretty close to finished. I might not get it finished next week because I kind of need a model break, but I would like to get it done and sent off before the baby gets here. So.
Mm-hmm. And then Keisha has requested to do another model for Katie.
Right, but that one, she tells me, it doesn't need to be done until August, so I can work on it during my maternity leave. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to start that one immediately, except for I might start it immediately because I get very excited about new things. So.
Well, it might be good to get some of the framework done for it.
Right. Who knows? Who knows with me? I might even sleep all week because I'm getting pretty tired now. So.
That would be amazing, right? Because the baby is not cooperating with sleep at the moment.
Yes. Oh, okay. She's using diversity and inclusion SAL and representation matters SAL.
Okay. If you will text me those, then I will include them in our show notes down below too.
Sure.
So I love technology. So much easier.
Right. I'm just going to take a screenshot of it and send it
there you go. Okay, my plans this week. Well, I brought this because Katie bought me this kit a few weeks ago. So this is going to have to be part of my July plans. It's Whale Watch from Chessie and Me. And look how cute that is.
Nice.
It's got a whale, it's got a flag, it's got stars, it's got flowers, and it has a house. Now, the rest of my plans, I was thinking this, I only have 9 things, so I only have 8 more. This is my 10 and 20. What should I stitch this week?
Ooh.
Oh, my linen and threads. Awesome.
You're doing so well on that. That's going to be good.
And I've been totally excited about all of my projects. So I love that. And then I have this huge wheel of 2020 whips. I mean, look at the size of this thing. I don't even know how many are there. I would have to get into edit to figure it out. But let's see what comes up here.
Ooh, I don't know this one.
Oh, okay. Morning Song is one that I sent out in a round robin. And it is, I mean, there's so much of it done. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. I love autocorrect. It put Nervin for morning.
Oh.
Nervin. Okay, let me see where we get. There we go. Yeah, I can't type. When you're in a hurry, you can never type.
Right.
So, okay. So these ladies were so lovely when I sent this in a round robin. And they got a ton of this done for me. And I just love this. Now, this will look different than mine, but that's it.
Oh, okay.
And mine is being stitched on a pink that, like I just love. I don't know if I have a picture in here anytime recently. It's got a ton stitched on it, but I am to the confetti heavy part of it. And around the outside, it has a cryonic border.
Ooh.
And it's really, really pretty because it's just one strand. So you're just making
right
X's all the way around. But that little bit just really cleans it up and makes it so pretty. I'm still going backwards here. I may not have it on here.
Right.
But, that's one that I will be really, really excited about because it's, it just has been sitting for so long. I did not put it on my 10 and 20 because it has so much. No, I don't have a picture in here. It has so much confetti that I just didn't think I would ever get to the end of it. Although I might get through it faster than I will get through our Hawk Run Hollow.
Well, that's true.
I'm figuring that I've finished one of my 10 and 20, and I'm figuring that I'm probably going to finish 4 or 5 by the end of the year.
Well, that's good because you put some pretty big things on there.
I did. And I mean, like, I put things that I thought I would get through, and then, like, that Blackberry House, I haven't touched that in months.
Right.
So I like using the wheel to choose something and actually pull it out and work on it. But I know I'm going to be distracted through July because my birthday is next Friday.
I was going to ask if you were going to do something cool for your birthday.
Yeah. And then, okay, so my birthday is next Friday on the 3rd, and Katie's is the following Wednesday on the 8th. So, and then our Frogwarts retreat starts right after that. So we decided that we are going to Branson on Friday with some friends. Maybe Keisha, if she thinks that the baby is okay.
I don't know. I mentioned it to my husband. So I am 36 weeks pregnant now. Yeah. So the baby could come whenever he wants to, and it would be fine. And I mentioned to my husband, I came in and I was like, they're going to Branson and I'd really like to go. And he stared at me like, you better make the right decision. But I think I probably shouldn't be that far away from the hospital.
So we told Keisha that she could see how she felt towards the end of the week, and it could be a last minute decision, and that was fine. And I'm okay if you don't, because I totally understand. Although you would be with, other moms, and so, we would take care of you.
I'm just imagining my poor husband driving as fast as he could 4 hours away.
So we're going to Branson to go to Cecilia's Samplers. And maybe we will meet up with our friend Christy Lee.
Oh, fun.
That would be a fun thing. She said that if we came down, we should let her know and that we could go to lunch, and that would be good.
Yeah, that would be fun.
And then Katie and I have decided that the stashing has got to end. So we will go stash for our birthdays. She's sitting up here with a face mask on. I really should turn the camera around and let you guys see. But yeah, that's going to be our birthday present to each other, that we go to Cecilia's, and her shop is so cool and so packed. So packed.
That's exciting. Yeah, I haven't been. I'd really like to go. Yeah. Silly baby.
Well, I'm sure we'll go again.
Okay.
And thank goodness we already went to Picture This Plus, because the retail is closed in there, and you did get to see it with all of the stuff in it. So, and we'll do Wichita again too, because that's a fun day trip.
Right.
So I don't think there's anything else left to say except thank you.
Yes, thank you. You guys, you sit through so long of videos to just listen to our rambles, because I know it's at least 25%. just
Yeah.
us laughing at each other.
Yeah. Well, and we definitely egg each other on, and we probably are longer since COVID has hit because we don't spend time together as much as we did.
Right.
So,
So,
even like yesterday where we talked in the car some, but when we got to the shop, we kind of spread out and did our thing and then joined up
right.
after that. But thank you so much for joining us. If you like what you're seeing, then subscribe. And if you hit the bell, you'll get a reminder when these come out because we try and get them out in a timely manner. But Katie and I are still working that out, the bugs out with that.
Right. And we're officially on baby watch now, guys. So
Yes.
hopefully I see you next week, but maybe you just get a picture from Laura of a baby and you'll know what happened to me.
But yeah, if the fireworks come and surprise the little guy and that's it, then I don't know. So we love your comments too. Please keep your comments coming, and we read through all of them and have just such a good time seeing everything that you guys are doing. I was going to say that one of the lovely things that came out of comments is when we did our giveaway for subscriber level. Doreen was the person who got my chart, and she has finished it, and I'm still working on mine. But because of that, I have somebody new that I follow on Instagram. And I love to see that. And I love the interaction. And, we message back and forth through those. So,
Yeah.
And I do have her on text, so I could send her a text message too. I just need to remember to do that.
Right.
So, anyway, I think that's it.
All right.
See you next week.
Bye. Have a good week.